Hello and welcome to the relationship theory. Everyone on this coming to a rainy day. I imagine in a few it will rain, but I wanted to capture this video before any of that got started. So today, and this literally just popped in my head, and I thought this would actually be really bright to talk about, and it's about labels. Why I do not label people. I think we're in about 92 vlogs at this point, and not once have you seen me call anyone anything. I believe I've even refused to call empaths and narcissists. I have refused to do so for very specific reasons. But knowing me, I don't need more than one reason to do something. But let me see if I can break down a few things as to why before I tell you exactly why I do not label people. So the reason why I don't, there are things that I've noticed. In the world nowadays, everyone appears to want to play a role. It's almost like everyone has at least played one game of Kingdom Hearts in their life, and they've come across that word role. So a lot of people now are very interested in being actors and playing roles. The only thing is, a lot of people are not so confident in their roles, even if they knew they were playing one, even if they wanted to play one, even if that was their life's dream. And I don't mean a career, an actual career where you're making money. I don't mean Hollywood as far as doing it in a career. I mean a life's choice, their willpower. They've designated their willpower in the way that they express themselves to playing a role. And the rain is starting. It's all to be interesting. But even if that's what they want to do, everyone, there's a lot of people that, as hard as they might try to play a role, they're not exactly confident in how that role ought to be enacted. And they look to other people who are good at playing, who are good at being themselves. And they take on the characteristics and the attributes of people who are actually legitimately being themselves. And they make that a part of their routine. That is one of the most major problems. That is where the problems come in as far as people playing a role. The people who need help are the ones who take up the mantle, and they adapt what people who really want to live do to themselves, and they play that out. And then the ones in life who actually need people to be real, they find the fake ones over the real ones. And it's a very strange, unfortunate thing that happens. The rain's picking up. It's actually quite beautiful out here, but so that's one of the things I've noticed. But still, the reason why I don't label things, no matter how many vlogs I've done, and even when I'm walking around in real life, the reason why I don't label things is because a lot of people are looking for a license to do what they want to do, and they cannot decide to do it on their own. I mean, I've even had problems with this, but this was me. Yeah, no, I've had problems with this too. Like anyone else who was afraid of just at least taking a step or who haven't trained themselves in taking steps. I've had those same kinds of problems. Sometimes you feel like you need a guiding hand. Sometimes you need someone to show you how to take a step so that you can learn how to do it too. But most people are looking for a license to do what they already have decided in their heart they want to do. And I've seen that whenever you give someone a label, it's not, they get upset, but it doesn't make them so upset that they're actually offended. The entire time they were doing what they were doing, they were waiting for someone to call out their name. And then they get to truly become who they already knew they were going to be. That's the reason why I do not label people. I want you to show me who you are without me telling you that you're being the way that you're being. The other reason why I don't label people is because it's draining. Draining in that people wait for you to tell them who they know they are. And the way they wait for you, quote unquote, wait, is by being the thing. This is draining you, by the way. They're not just doing what they're doing and you're like, wait a minute, that's kind of, hey, and you're like friends and you're gelling with them and you're trying to figure out like, so what's going on with you? No. They were that the whole time. And the icing on the cake, the strawberry on the cake, whatever you like on the top of this sweet thing was actually them hearing the name and the word of the thing that they already decided they would become. That's why I don't label people. I want people to label themselves. It's so much more effort for someone to tell you who they are rather than you tell them. Because at the end of the day, all a person has to do is blame you for why they've done what they do or why they're doing it. They only have to look at you and go, well, it's because you told me that I was. They don't have to do anything. When you refuse to label people, they have to do most of the work. That's why I don't label people. I want to see some effort. So this is this episode of the RT Vlogs. That's the reason why I don't label people. Too many people are getting away with being something that they already are. They've given themselves the license. They're just adding extra licenses in case theirs and their own have already expired. Now it has. Sorry. Their license has expired for themselves. That's exactly why they're looking for someone else to label themselves. That was the whole point. That is the whole point. You need to help them purchase their next license because they cannot afford another way of being without someone telling them they get to be that way. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, I implore you, stop labeling people. Stop trying to call people out. They know. The only thing that happens when you tell people who they are is on the inside, they smile to themselves and they laugh and they clap like monkeys, happy to know that you have called them exactly what they knew they were all along and just needed someone to validate. It's validation for them, everybody. It's validation. Cut it out.